Hello and welcome to Word Power. I'm your host, Julian Johnson, and we're broadcasting live not only on Facebook and YouTube, but also on Instagram. So we'd like to welcome all of the Instagrammers and everyone who is on this morning. And I'd like to welcome you to Word Power. On Word Power, we're so excited to have each and every one of you. And please feel free to put inside of the comments something that is exciting you, something that you're enjoying, and something that you're experiencing as a part of this word. Every week on Word Power, we'll have something to encourage you, something to lift you up, and something to bless your life. This is all about recharge, encouragement, and inspiration. I'm your host, Dr. Julian Johnson, and I'm so excited to be with you this morning. And I want to thank you for investing. Good morning, Norma. Thank you so much for investing in your day. And thank you so much for being a part of this experience. And I want you to know every week we'll have a word of the week. And the word of the week is something to encourage you, something to inspire you, and something to build and lift you up. And the word of this week is fear. That's right. The word of this week is fear. And I believe a lot of people really are afraid of a lot of stuff. I mean, people are afraid of the coronavirus. They're afraid of getting diseases. They're afraid of relationships. Some people even are afraid of success. But I want to share with you a few of the fears that I've found that are most common. And some of these fears include the fear of failure, the fear of snakes, fear of dogs, fear of public speaking, fear of enclosed spaces, fear of flying. But there's a lot of other fears of dogs. But I would suggest to you not only fears of dogs and needles, and even you would be surprised at the amount of people who are nurses or in the healthcare profession who do not like needles, but they give needles and prescribe needles for IVs and things like that. But I would suggest to you today, I want to kind of hone in on two fears, and that is the fear of success and the fear of failure. I want you to know today that a lot of people are really afraid of going forward in their life, in their relationships, and also in other areas of their life because they don't know what it's going to look like. I mean, a lot of us are even afraid of the unknown. And instead of being afraid of the unknown, people really need to know that they do not have to fear because they really are not alone. I'll tell you today that one of the Bible verses that anchors my faith and anchors my courage in knowing that I do not have to be afraid comes from Isaiah 43, verse 2. It says, "Fear not, for I am with you. I have called you by name. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, nor shall the flame scorch you." Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Now, a lot of us are dealing with a lot of difficulties, a lot of drama, a lot of problems, and people are afraid to know that who is with them when they're going through all this. So just this morning, I woke up, one of my great friends, a good friend of mine, pianist extraordinaire, Rodney Allen, died while I was sleeping last night or yesterday at some point. I just found out this morning. And so my whole mind was shaking. I was so excited this morning. You know, my jam is "Today will be the best day of your life." And I couldn't even hear that this morning, but I knew I needed it. But I know that there are a lot of people who are watching right now, whether on your Instagram or Facebook Live or YouTube, and you are afraid to move forward in your life. Yep, I called you out, and I know I'm right. Because there are many people who have a lot of plans, a lot of things that they want to talk about, a lot of successes, a lot of dreams, a lot of visions, a lot of plans for your life that have not been executed on. And many of you are afraid to go forward because you think you don't know what's on the other side. And some of you have been going through so many fires by yourselves. You've been walking through the fire. You feel like you're being burned. You feel like you're being scorched. But I want to let you know that you are not alone. And I want to let you know that some people know what it's like to be alone. But do you know what it's like to be alone, only to be a prisoner of your thoughts? Do you know what it's like to be alone, only to be a captive of your own imagination? And I would suggest to you that many of the greatest dreams, many of the greatest realities that we have are birthed in fear and birthed in crisis. Do not let this moment pass you by just because you are afraid. And I want to let you know that isolation is not the answer to your problem. There's some people who say, well, because I don't know, because nobody cares about me, I don't know what I should do, and I'll just stay in this little hole and I'll go by myself. And I want to let you know, wherever you're watching Nikolai or Footman Joe or Lady Rich, isolation is not the answer to solving your problems. You got to get into a group. You got to be around other people, and you have to realize that you are not alone. Not only are you not alone, but somebody called your name. Whatever your name is, whatever it's Tina, Joe, Sally, Shadrika, whatever it is, Tim or Tom or Tony, it doesn't matter what your name is. Somebody has called your name and has not forgotten you. So I think the real biggest thing for me about being afraid, and I'll share with you probably my biggest fear. I've never really told this, but I have been impressed to tell you this this morning. This came on me and I can't shake it. I was afraid of death. Not necessarily afraid of dying, but afraid of being around dead people. Now, some of y'all know that I'm a chaplain in a hospital. Some of you know that I work in healthcare. So how in the world can you be afraid of death? Well, when I was a kid, every single week I was afraid of death. Every Saturday when we went to church, I used to get joked on and see funeral homes and things like that. Hey, may not still be my favorite thing, but I had an experience where I had to confront my own fear. It was one day I was doing my residency at UAB Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama, and I was called to the morgue to visit with a family. So I'm visiting with this family, and next thing you know, it was just me and this dead body. And it was the most fearful thing that I had. I didn't know what I was going to experience. I didn't know what was going to happen to me when I went there. But I'll tell you this much, I got over that fear and was able to conquer that moment. And I want to let you know that there's some fears that people have that they really do not know what is keeping them from going forward. But I want to let you know, do not let your fears keep pausing your progress. Yo, there's some of y'all that are actually so afraid of progress that you refuse to do anything. Get up off your behind. Get up and get on your computer and put down all the dreams and goals and visions that you've had for years. And I'm so tired of talking to people who talk about doing stuff but refuse to execute. My man, Eric Thomas, he says, man, listen, you got to want success as much as you want it to breathe. And I'm telling you, when you want to execute, listen, man, I'm telling you, I've had visions and goals and plans. The other thing is, don't let other people talk you out of what God has planned for you in your life. Don't let other people talk you out of going forward. Don't let other people talk you out of a relationship. Some people want the relationship you have, but they don't even know how to say it. And I'm telling you today that there are a lot of people that have to confront their fears. Some people you just got to dive in. You just got to do it. And you got to confront that thing to realize that it's not necessarily you. It's the fear that's holding you back. You were created a warrior. You were created victorious. You were created a queen. You were created a king. And now you acting like you are a pauper. You acting like you're a servant, but you are called to be the head and not the tail. Yes, I'm speaking to you this morning because there's so many people like me who've been paralyzed by their own fears, paralyzed by their own frustrations. What are people going to say? And how are they going to react if I do this? How are they going to react if I do that? And some of y'all didn't know I could talk like this, but I've been holding it in and it's going to come out this morning. The fact of the matter is that many of you refuse to execute because you're afraid that somebody is going to find out that you're actually smart, that you actually have gifts, and that you actually know exactly what's going on in the world. Some of you have talents and gifts that you've been sitting on for your whole life, and some of you have been so afraid to execute on those plans and vision and dreams. But I'm telling you, somebody that connected me with is this man right here. Pierre Quinn celebrated 39 years of birth, and he told me something that changed my life. He said, look, Julian, he said, if you stay on here and stay the path that you're going, you're going to have stuff on your computer that you're going to die with and nobody will know about. But you're a bad steward if you don't put your stuff out there for people to hear and experience. And I want you to know this morning that you might be a business leader. You might be in your pajamas. You might be watching me drinking your coffee. It doesn't matter where you're watching me, but the reality is that you need to get past this fear. And I want to talk to you about how to get past this fear. We're going to talk about this thing. We're going to dive in this thing and digest it just for a few minutes, but we'll be right back after these messages. We got some good stuff coming up. We got some great stuff coming up. And I want you to know that somebody's trying to mess me up this morning, but I'm going to keep going. This internet keeps stopping, but I ain't going to let it stop me from talking. So if you don't hear it here, watch it on Instagram. There's going to be more coming. So after these messages, I want to come back and we're going to talk about how to get through this fear factor, how to get through these challenges. And we'll be right back after these messages. And I want to let you know, in addition to that, in addition to keeping safe during the coronavirus, I want to let you know that every week we have something called The Network. This coming week, we'll be talking to Barone Savory, a media expert, and he's going to be talking about how to set up your media so that you can broadcast your message to the world. He's also the founder of Non-Compliant, a movement that helps to escalate and to innovate women in ministry. We also want to thank you so much for subscribing to the Built to Thrive network on Built to Thrive on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and also on YouTube. Then some of you are looking for purpose. And I want to let you know there's something for you called Finding Your Purpose, broadcast on the YouTube page for Built to Thrive, the Built to Thrive channel. The textbook for this is 5 Minutes on Purpose. We also want to let you know there's a podcast waiting for you. There's a family of stuff just waiting for you, and all you have to do is execute. Coming very soon, all hot off the press, is the Built to Thrive Discovery Guide. And I'm so excited to be able to share that with you. And one of the other things I'd like to let you know is that each week on the network that I want to feature your business. There's something that you have to offer the world that I want to share with the world with you. And I want to let you know we're going to extend just a little bit this morning because I'm feeling good. All right, so we talked about fears, we talked about progress, we talked about where we should go, and don't let your fear stop you. All right, then the other thing is don't let your fear stop you from relentlessly pursuing your dreams and your goals. I'm telling you, there are things in my life that I refuse to do because I let other people stop me. I let the opinions of others paralyze me. And I'm telling you, there's some of you who are just like that. Well, okay. What do you do if you're a creator, if you're a person that desires to be a part of something bigger, but you just don't know where to go? I want you to suggest you join a meetup group. So there's a lot of people who are kind of afraid and fearful of not knowing what to do, not knowing what to say, but you need to join a group. And there's some people who really need not to listen to others who have not been where they're trying to go. But you don't need to listen to people who are not understanding what your vision and your dreams and your goals are. And in a moment, I'm going to give you a 4-step plan toward executing your life. Yeah, you can buy a whole lot of books. I'll save you the money today and give you the 4-step plan because I want you to go forward. So let me ask you a question. What decisions would you have made if you were not afraid? What decisions would you have made if you, Georgia Peach 255, were not afraid? What decisions would you have made in your life if you were not afraid? Would you have bought that house? Would you have married that man? Would you have married that woman? Would you have those kids? Would you drunk what you drunk last night, or smoke what you smoked last night? Or would you have actually executed on your dreams and plans? I'll never forget, I talked to somebody about a year ago, and she said to me, I wish that I would have gone to college because I think my life would have been the same. Some people said, I wish I would have started that business so I could take care of my family in ways to build a legacy. Yes, a legacy that people could have bought into. So what fears do you need to put to rest? What fears do you need to put to rest? Some of you are so afraid that nobody cares about you. But I want to let you know that on July 25, I want to pray for you. I want to pray for your business. I want to pray for your family. And I need you to email me, direct message me, Julian Johnson, on the Built to Thrive page on Facebook, because you need prayer and you need power. So how do we do this? How do we do this, man? How do we do this? How do we put our fears to rest, and how do we execute on some plans? Number one, you got to write the vision. All right. So you got to write this thing down, and you got to write down your dreams. When you write down these dreams, it helps you actually to codify things that you do. 80% of the stuff you write down actually happens because you start to believe it yourself. Half of the problem about fear is that you don't even believe the stuff because somebody either has beat the fear out of you, has pushed the fear out of you, or has done all these things. And you haven't even written down your dreams. So number one, write down those dreams. Number two, you got to decide on a timeline. That's right, a timeline. In order to execute, you got to have a goal to say, I'm going to go for it by this date, by this time, but don't make it too far. Just dive in. Kimon Hines, my coach from Ideas to Life, says, done is better than thought. If you do something, it's better than just thinking about it. And then next, get the education you need. You don't know everything. You really don't know everything, but you can learn. We're all able to learn. We're all able to decide and learn about more things than we knew before. You might need to get a mentor. So I said, get a mentor. And then finally, go for it. You got to dive in and get this thing, baby. You got to get this thing, brother. You got to get this thing, sister. This thing is real, and you need to get this thing done. I'm telling you, I would suggest to you that Pierre Quinn said, I wish I would have joined a consulting firm when the job was offered several years ago. And I'm telling you, you got to write down your dreams. You got to write down, you got to do what you got to do. And I'm telling you, Pierre, this thing came to me this morning because I realized, man, there are people like me who have been fearful on executing on their God-given dreams and gifts and goals and priorities. So I'm going to go over this thing again. Number one, you got to write down your dreams. Number two, you got to decide on a timeline. Number three, you got to get the education that you need. Oh, I think this is coming up in a book or article, Pierre. I feel it. And then number four, you just got to go for it. Don't wait to execute. Just go for it. And then finally, you got to decide and find a group to connect with. You are not alone. I'm telling you. So what fears are controlling you? What fears are really controlling you? Some of you are afraid that you've had so many losses that you do not know how to process them. Well, guess what? I got an answer for you today. And that answer comes in my free offer for you, builttothrive.me/free. That's right, builttothrive.me/free. I want to help you about how to thrive through loss. Some of you are going through losses more than you can explain, more than you can imagine. And I want to be a resource for you. Please go to my website, builttothrive.me, for more encouragement. But I got some homework for you before we get out of here. And that homework is write down the things that are going right in your life. There's some things that are going right in your life, but you got to start somewhere. Some of you are so afraid that you don't know what to do. But I want to let you know, the Bible lets us know, fear not, I am with you. I have called you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. It might feel like it, but you're not alone, nor shall the flame scorch you. You are protected. You are encouraged. Please make sure to find a group to connect with. The Cardell group, Pierre Quinn, instead of waiting for somebody else, he started his own group. And I want to let you know that you got to find a group to connect with, and you got to join this Built to Thrive community. So please share this video, like, subscribe, and share to the Built to Thrive community. I want to pour into you because God has poured into me, and he let me know that you are the group that I need to talk to. You are a person that I need to connect with. And I want to bless you today. I pray that you have a great day. Please remember, like, subscribe, or share this broadcast. Please let me know that you are experiencing some transformation. I want to celebrate the good things that are going on in your life. I want to celebrate all the wonderful blessings that you are experiencing. And I want you to know that you are not alone. There's nothing that can stop you. And my last question to you this morning, before I get off of this thing, you got to do your homework. But my last question to you, what are you waiting for? I pray that you have a great day. Please don't wait any longer. It's time to go for those dreams. It's time to go for those plans. I want to celebrate with you. I want to celebrate with you on Instagram. I want to celebrate with you on Facebook Live. I want to bring you on the network because you have a message that the world needs to hear. This is so exciting. Please remember to join us every single week. On this coming Wednesday night, we'll have Barone Savori. I'm Julian Johnson, and I approve this message. We'll see you on Wednesday night. May God bless you and keep you until we meet. May God bless you and keep you until we meet again.